Hello and welcome to Tonalist Painting with M. Francis McCarthy. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and welcome as well to day 23 of 25 Days of Tonalism, Volume 2. The painting that we're doing a study after today is called Moonlit Landscape by Charles Warren Eaton. And probably one of the first things you'll notice is that it's not as sped up as many other videos, and sort of like the painting we did last week, not a lot to it. Very simple. I mean, there's just two big shapes. One's dark and the other's light, and in this case he's gone with this kind of electric green, which is very neat. I'd be interested to see this painting in real life. I've seen a few tonalist paintings in real life, but for the most part, like the rest of you, I have to interact with this stuff, with online imagery. Charles Warren Eaton, definitely one of my favorite tonalist painters, no question about it. Interesting guy. He has an interesting history. As a matter of fact, he went many years without painting, and then started again towards the end of his life. And the work he was doing towards the end, it wasn't my cup of tea. I guess that's all I'll say. Some people love it, but not me. I like him when he's in his toneless mode, and when he was good, he was among the best that ever painted, in my view. And I'm always happy and excited to do studies after him. Now, we are getting close to the end of Volume 2 here, and the good news is that I've had some response, which is basically all I was looking for, is a bit of to see if anybody was is there anybody out there? Just nod if you can hear me, right? Digging this, using it, and that's the whole point, is just to promote tonalism, to promote these great painters, and they try and get the the art world to stand up and recognize the greatness that was tonalism. To me, that's absolutely vital. I mean, when I first started doing landscape painting, I was working in a impressionist mode, like so many people are that really may not even be aware they're working in an impressionist mode, but they are. When I first came across the work of George Inness and also the Hudson River guys to a large degree, this was at a museum in San Francisco, I was absolutely blown away, and I knew that was the mode that I wanted to work in, and really didn't mind too much if it was popular or not popular. And the thing is because tonalism uses a lot of glazing, and a lot of times it's featuring twilight scenes or dusk, it can be definitely darker in value than Impressionism. Impressionism being based on capturing certain light effects, and usually those are daylight effects, because let's face it, when the sun's going down, the sky is changing rapidly, the light is changing rapidly. Very difficult to be a plein air painter who paints sunsets, I think. The exception, though, would be Alaska, and one day I think it would be awesome to go up there and to have a sunset that lasts 3 or 4 hours. That would be pretty cool. You can see here, after I did my drawing stage, I gave the whole board a kind of a rub down of some green to kind of get rid of some of that red that I knew was going to peek through. And I'm pretty happy with the way this painting turned out. It's such a simple painting. I felt like, it's the kind of thing, I'm sure he painted it much larger than my little 5x7 here. But I enjoyed it. I got a lot out of it. And I guess the other thing I want to say is that I have started on Volume 3. Actually, I've had Volume 3. I've had the first pass done for a while, but I've just kind of been putting off doing the second and final pass. And this last week I probably did about maybe 6 or 7. And I'll get more done, and I should be done totally in time for when we run out here, because there's day 24 next week, and the week after that is day 25. And if you know me, there's probably going to be something else, a special bonus at the end. And it's been a while. It takes a while. I mean, it's we're talking about 25 weeks, so we're talking about almost half a year to get through this. But I have to say that for my personal practice as a painter, there's nothing I've done that has improved my work more than doing studies after the Tonalist Masters. It has put my work into a whole nother level, and it continues to do so. It continues to help me. It continues to get me to see things and push me in ways that sometimes are a little uncomfortable. And I like to do it as 5x7s. I have had, for example, the guy who does some repping of my work is, seen some of these like, oh, you should do this larger, and I'm always saying, well, I'm not that actually that kind of painter. I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and make copies after other people's paintings, as a living. I'm interested in doing my own work. And I feel that when I do it as a small study, that it's contained, it's quick, it's easy to do. The smallness and size keeps me from really getting nutty with actually duplicating it 100%. And I guess I can talk a little bit about what's going on in the studio, because I'm in the process of doing a study after John Francis Murphy for a friend of mine who's been super helpful with just giving me coaching and advice on my art career, and it's been so appreciated by me that I know he's a fan of John Francis Murphy, and so I'm doing a painting for him of my favorite Murphy, and that's what I've been doing this week, at least. Well, I did the sky yesterday. Today I did the bottom portion, and I feel it's going pretty well. In fact, it's going to be on Instagram. If you want to see the progress, all you have to do is go to my Instagram feed, which is @TonalistPainter on Instagram. And I took some shots yesterday of me starting out, and I took some more shots today, which I'll be getting up and onto Instagram. And now the painting needs to dry. It needs a coat of liquid to even out all the matte and shiny areas, and then it's ready for some glazing. And glazing is really a big part of what people like Murphy would do, and I think to a lesser degree Charles Warren Eaton. I have seen paintings by Eaton that I knew were extensively glazed, because there's certain colors and effects you cannot get any other way. As a matter of fact, I was working on another one of my pieces this afternoon, and looking at some things I'd done in the reference, there were just colors that I could mix the color, but I couldn't get the effect, and I know that I could have got that effect with another layer of glazing, which I may or may not do. The fact of the matter is that what I did looks pretty good, looks just fine, and it's not like I need to sit there and ape the reference image. But getting back to this Francis Murphy, I'm really excited to do it because it's that 7x10 size, so it's a bit larger than a 5x7. It's twice as large actually, and this is on a textured board, and I've done another Murphy before that was on a mildly textured board. This is my first Murphy on a board, I think, that replicates pretty much his heavily textured approach, and it was going pretty well. I'm pretty stoked, and I think once I start hitting with those glazes and stuff, it's going to be really good. And the case is on that too. I'm not trying to match Murphy stroke for stroke. I'm trying to get the feel of it across. I'm trying to keep stay in that threshold between being loose and being tight. Right now it's a little on the tight side, but that's going to be pretty easy to it's not that tight. It's looking good. I'm happy with it, and I think my friend will be very happy with it, and I'm pleased to do that for him. And well, heck, I'm having a great time, and I have a great time doing all these Tonalist Master studies. It's very rare that I get into a situation where I'm regretting doing it, and that may be because really, it's not like I'm trying to do a study after one of these Hudson River guys with, they had so much detail for days and days. That would be quite a pain in the butt to try and duplicate. Anyway, I can see we're getting close to the end here. Hey, go to my site. I have a store there. You get a discount if you're a subscriber. Just type the word fine art in. I've got a lot of nice pieces there. I'm going to be putting up a lot more very soon. Also, you can follow my blog through there. It's the best place to follow my blog, actually. And on the blog, videos, not that many essays for the last half a year, but if you dig way down, there's quite a lot of essays too. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with one of my own pieces in a long format. So meanwhile, do me a favor and take good care and stay out of trouble.